Hi, let's improve our writing for Task 1 IELTS. I'm here to help you today write a report about a line graph. Now this line graph is over several years. Here is the task. The graph shows the winter heating costs according to heating fuel type from 2003 to 2011. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features, making comparisons where relevant. Now remember, this second part is on every IELTS task instruction. So every time you write task 1, you must choose or select main features. You do not write everything. And you also have to compare and contrast. But again, you cannot compare and contrast everything, only the relevant information. What's the topic? The topic is winter heating costs. What stands out immediately? Let's analyze it. The first thing is there are 3 types of fuel: natural gas, oil, and electricity. What else stands out? It is only about senior citizens or old age users of heating. Also, make sure you can talk about the time period in many different ways. You can say from 2003 to 2011, between this year and this year, or over a period of 8 years. Other things you can check are that the costs are in dollars. Here is the overview. This line graph shows the prices per year that older people pay for heating according to the 3 different fuel types: gas, oil, and electricity. The data was collected from 2003 to 2011. This is an excellent Task 1 overview. Why? Because the student answered all the WH questions. What does it show? It shows cost or the prices. Who is the graph about? It's about older people. What is it about? It's about heating. How many different heating types? There were 3 different heating types. And when is the graph concerned with? And here is the time. So if you can answer some of these questions, not all of them, you will do very well. Let's move on. After the overview, you have to refer to the graph more specifically in the main body. Remember, you can't talk about everything, so select the main features first. To do this, think about beginning to end. What is the overall trend? Just from this point to this point. The green one goes up, the blue one goes down slightly, and the red one goes up very, very slightly. That is the overall trend. So this information will form the second paragraph, or the paragraph after the overview. Think about sentences like this. The amount spent on fuel oil goes up. The amount spent on natural gas has a peak and then goes back down. The amount spent on electricity barely changes, but it does go up slightly. Just think about the beginning to the end. Here is the paragraph. Overall. You want a word like this or like in general to tell the IELTS examiner that this paragraph is only dealing with general or main features. Overall, the costs of fuel oil for heating went up significantly. In 2003, for consumers over the age of 65, they were just under $1,000. But by 2011, they had more than doubled, reaching $2,425. In contrast, natural gas and electricity didn't change much and were much cheaper. Couldn't you write like this? Can you use appropriate linkers like overall, in general, or in contrast? Can you use appropriate time expressions like in 2003 and by 2011? And with these time expressions, can you use the best verb and adverb? Notice we've got went up with significantly. Here the word double is a verb, but it's past perfect, had doubled. Here we've got a negative, didn't change. And remember, IELTS Task 1 always asks you to compare, so we've got much cheaper. That was the second paragraph dealing with general features. So the third paragraph gives, look, a more detailed look at the chart. A more detailed look at the chart reveals that in 2005, natural gas cost $627 per year, and it rose until a peak in 2005 and 6 at around $890. In 2011, however, this had dropped to $547, which was only $80 more than its starting point back in 2003. In terms of electricity, there was a slight increase from $343 to $460 by the end of the time period. This paragraph is very different from the one before because it contains data, numbers, because it is a more detailed look at the chart. So remember the plan. You have an overview. Your second paragraph is main or general features, and the third paragraph is detail. This is a typical plan if you just have one graph. And this text was 151 words long. Perfect. The only other advice I would give this student is to not always copy the numbers. So here the student has written $547. It might be better to write just under $550. Just under $550. How would you describe this one? 2,425. Almost 2,500. Almost 2,500. So if this student wrote some numbers by paraphrasing them, they would get a higher score for vocabulary. But otherwise, this is an excellent IELTS Task 1 text.